I recorded this, like the same video a little bit ago, but I forgot to mention something. So, slam death metal stopped being cool once it stopped being like a guitar riff technique and became the entire song. So, what is a slam riff, you may ask? I need to dive into what death metal is. So death metal is a style of extreme metal that began in the late 1980s and gained momentum in the 1990s. Death metal is a very popular style because it's great. Okay, I feel like it would kind of replace thrash, and I'm not gonna lie, groove metal. I know groove metal replaced thrash, but I think death metal did too. Because the earliest death metal bands were basically just thrash metal bands, but crazy funny. We can thank Venom for inventing things like this. But so, what is a slam riff? You may be asking. So in death metal, most of the riffs are very chromatic and they are tremolo picked. Chromatic means that. What's a good way to describe chromatic? So if you think of like a major scale, like a no, 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 or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Take that and just take a bunch of random notes instead of that. Like it doesn't stay within a scale. It's all 12 of the possible piano keys. That's what the chromatic riffs will usually be like, very angular, very interesting. And a tremolo pick is you take your pick and you do like this really fast. And that in a sense, so you go like don 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 don, and it should just sound like when you do it. So that is one of the big parts of death metal. Also, a lot of death metal bands tend to talk about um, like paganism, Satanism, um, anti-religiousness, and death and life. So, and also blast beats. Forgot to mention blast beats. And if you don't know what a blast beat is, it's a fast, very fast drum beat. But the kick and the cymbal of your choice will always be together, and then the snare is on the offbeat. So it's just gonna sound like over and over. So, what is a slam riff? A slam riff is a tremolo picked, not tremolo picked. A slam riff is a palm muted riff, and that means that you put your palm next to the base of the guitar strings, and that's supposed to slightly mute it. So instead of like, you know, ringing out, it goes like boom. And this started in metalcore. Metalcore implemented palm muted breakdown sections where they would I think of like crabcore, the kinds of breakdowns you would hear in like an attack song like Stick Stickly or something. So you take these palm muted riffs and you slow it down instead of because a lot of palm muted riffs in metalcore were like digga 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 dun digga digga, like some shit like that. A palm muted riff in slam metal though is where you go like doom 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 over and over. It's very mid-tempo to slow paced, and the kick drum is usually just going like the whole time. So slam metal riffs were cool when it was a riff technique, but then it became like the entire personality of the song. Where we would get like more recently, you would hear like a slam metal song where basically the whole song is maybe like other things and like three separate breakdown sections within the song. And that's not bad inherently, but it gets to a point where like we're hearing the same thing over and over, you know. And a lot of death metal also the vocals are growled, right? uh However, in slam, a lot of it is like pig squeals, like him with one of those like for like 20 minutes straight. So I'm basically like I don't like there's nothing wrong with music not having like clear lyrics. I don't give a shit. You know, I like shoegaze. But um my problem though is that like every single song on an album tends to sound exactly the same. And I like slam metal, but I understand why other people wouldn't. And I understand why other people would see like slam metal and think, okay, you know, because every single song sounds the same. Okay, so I personally don't hate slam, but I feel like it's a criticism that is absolutely valid in its own right that basically every song on a slam metal album will follow the same formula and be very samey. And a lot of these bands are not very different from each other. I mean, like, hold on, let me go and rate your music and see, like, hold on. And again, like before, like with Gut Rot, for example, or Degrade, or Devourment, actually. A lot of these bands incorporated slam metal riffs as part of the music. But now, more recently, it's become like the entire song. But I have listened to whatever 25 times 3 is, that is the amount of or maybe wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 3, 4, 5. 25 times 3. I've listened to 75 brutal death metal albums or releases. Maybe some of them are EPs. I don't fucking know. But I will say that in all of them that I've listened to, they're great noise, but it's not a whole lot going on. Okay, that's the end of the video.